Wait, watch, and listen to me very carefully. Because in this video, I'm going to tell you something very valuable, insightful, and everlasting knowledge and roadmap I am going to give you today. But, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you one thing. If you are an aspiring public speaker, a mentor, a coach, a trainer, and absolutely a communicator and an orator, then this video is absolutely for you, ladies and gentlemen. My dear friends, let me explain you something very wonderful, something very exciting. Because as a speaker, as an orator, as a communicator, as a mentor, as a coach, as a politician, as a leader, you all have to handle one thing, that is people, that is audience, that is followers, that is well-wishers, that is trainees, mentees, students. But let me tell you one of the harsh reality and fact, that is that it's very, very tough to handle people. It's the toughest job to handle your audience, because you don't know that what your audience is thinking about. Your audience is ignoring you, neglecting you, being biased towards you, just, criticizing you, doing backbiting about you and for you. You never know it. Or if you know, then this gives you pain. This hurts you. This makes you realize, oh my God, what is the blunder I have made that my audience is ignoring me or criticizing me and passing some bad comments? Oh, listen very carefully, because I am having 14 plus years experience, and I have gone to Northeast, conducted workshops there and handled my audience completely in a good way. I have gone to North India, from North India to South India. I have covered some states and cities where I have conducted workshops and trainings, and I've handled people and my audience in a good way and a good manner. I've gone from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, where I've conducted some sessions, trainings, seminar, workshops, and I've also reported some news reporters and journalists. And I found that I have conducted in a good way, where I just, handle my audience, my people, my attendees in a proper way, in a good way. Whenever I go somewhere, what is the thing that actually makes me stand out of my competitors and the people that who are struggling to master the connection between them and their audience? I would like to give you 5 tips today to just master your audience and to master the craft and the roadmap to actually handle your audience. But before I give you these 5 tips, I would like to tell you that your audience mindsets are different, and your audience fall into different categories. Your audience may be very critical. Oh, come on, critical audience. How will you handle them? Your audience may be biased. Somewhere listening to you, somewhere ignoring you, somewhere analyzing you, introspecting you, somewhere appreciating you. They may be biased at some point of time and some point of moments. Your audience or your listeners maybe I'm saying not must be, but maybe so over expecting that they are expecting a lot from you. Your audience may be illiterate, that they don't have any knowledge, any information about that particular workshop or program, that they are not aware. Your audience may be not aware. And how will you handle when our audience is not aware and not literate and not educated? Your audience may be defensive or may be defending that, oh, they want to stay away from you. They want to stay away from you. What will you do in that situation? Your audience may be very, very negative and pessimist. What will you do in that scenario? Your audience may be not that variety on that kind of audience, which audience you are dealing for, ladies and gentlemen. Your audience may be rigid. Your audience may be narcissist. Your audience may not accept you. Your audience may reject you. Your audience may be judgmental. Your audience must be ignoring or may be ignoring. Your audience may be with different mindset, or your audience may be even attacking, and your audience may be questioning. Your audience may be overthinking, your audience may be over neglecting or interpreting or intervening or interfering or any kind of audience which you don't require that particular time and moment. How will you deal them? What will you do in that scenario? What will you do in that moment to actually handle your audience? Because when I went to Manipur, I saw the people, the students, they were not able to understand Hindi and I was not able to understand Manipuri. But even we communicated, we made a bridge, we hooked the people, we built a relationship. How that happened, how that went possible, how that came with possibility, I would like to share with you. I went to Kashmir. It was my first time. I was not aware of the Kashmir's environment and atmosphere. But I did one thing that was very, very important, that I built a connection. I went to Kanyakumari. I went to Chennai. I went to Pondicherry, where I built a connection with my people, audience. How did I do that? I would like to tell you 5 tips and tricks to master and craft your audience and to bridge a gap between you as a speaker and between your audience as a listener, right? So let me tell you 5 tips. First tip is put your feet into shoes of your audience. Why do you need to put your feet into shoes of your audience? Because you feel comfortable, you make them comfortable. You feel comfortable, you make them comfortable when you put your feet into shoes of your audience. In case you are addressing some different cultural people, how will you address them? You are addressing some different religious people, how will you address them? If you are addressing some other regional people, state level people, how will you address them? And if you are addressing to some other countries people, how will you address them? Because you have to put your feet into your audience shoes and you need to make them comfortable and you also need to feel comfortable with them. That's very, very important. Number 2, and that's very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, put values. Put values, always try to talk about the values. What are the benefits of your audience, for your audience? What are the values that you're filling to your audience? Are you giving them something? Are you encouraging them? Are you supporting them? Are you informing them? Are you demonstrating them? Are you upgrading them? Are you motivating them? Are you inspiring them? Or are you uplifting them actually? If you are not doing any of these, why your audience will listen to you? Why your audience will actually give their valuable time to you, give their valuable energy to you, or pay attention to you? You have to keep this in your mind that you need to put values for your audience or into your audience lives. It's very, very important. You can never neglect it, never ignore it, or never try to actually, forget it. The third point that's very, very important and close to my heart, that is surrender your ego. Surrender your ego. You may be designated. You may be more powerful. You may be having great millions of followers and number of followers. You may be a great tycoon in the business industry. You may be a great orator, a famous personality, a great leader, an influencer, a trainer, a coach, a very publicized personality. But when you go to the people, behave like you are also like them. Behave like you are also learning from them. Behave like you are there with them, connected completely and absolutely talking about some values, because you have to surrender your ego. The moment you get ego, the moment you go egoist, the moment you have negative attitude, the moment you show that you are fussy or you are throwing tantrums, that moment or that exact moment of time, if people start ignoring you and people start making a kind of perception about you that you are not such a kind of good and polite and sweet, humble and accepting, welcoming personality, you are not that kind of person. So you have to understand that's very, very important. You have to surrender your ego. This is the third point. The fourth point, it's very, very important. Be connected. Be connected, please. That's very important. I would like to tell you. Be connected. An entire your session, whether it is for 3 minutes, 3 hours, 3 days, 3 months, 3 years, 3 decades, 3 centuries, 3 lifestyles, or live 3 lifetimes, 3 bus deaths, whatever the program is, actually you need to be connected. You talk about all the sustaining all the sustaining industry, all the sustaining directors, producers, actors, actresses, lyricists, composers, musicians, pianists, guitarists, singers, they are there in the industry. They are sustaining, and they are sustained just with the help of consistency, with the help of connectivity, with the help of building the relationship. So you have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, that you need to be connected, stay connected with each and everyone. How can you do that? Ask their problems, know their weaknesses, do the SWOT analysis, right? Strength, weakness, opportunities, threats. Know about their backgrounds, know their emotions, know their lifestyles, know their future visions, missions, targets, goals, aims, dreams. And then they will really feel that if someone is standing and holding us tightly and strongly, that someone wants to uplift us, that's what they will feel connected to you. They will feel connected actually. That's very, very important. The fifth point and the last but not least point, that is stay enthusiastic and passionate. Be junoon wala. Be junoon wala, because I would like to tell you, from even a pradhan, mahapradhan, block parmukh, MLA, member of Legislative Assembly, MP, member of Parliament, all the ministers, even PM, Pradhan Mantri, Prime Minister of any country, or the President, Rashtrapati, they all have to stay connected to the people, with the people, by the people, for the people, from the people. Because living in India, India is the biggest democratic country. How all the politicians are connected to the people just because they know how to handle the audience, how to handle the people, how to stay very grounded, and how to stay down to earth and very connected to the people. That's very, very important. And they are also, because audience may forget you anytime. Your listeners can forget you, may forget you anytime. They may ignore you anytime. They may just, keep you out of their books and diaries anytime, any moment. You need to sustain that energy, that enthusiasm, that passion, that curiosity, that urging enthusiasm among you, all the people among your audience. Then the people will remember you for lifetime. Is stay enthusiastic, passionate, all right? Whatever you are telling, whatever you are speaking, whatever you are guiding on, whatever the roadmap you are creating, actually, right? Is stay enthusiastic, is stay passionate, is stay energetic, is stay magnetic, is stay positive, is stay fun, and is stay strong, and is stay that, that kind of with that belief and faith that you are actually fulfilling the desires and the needs and the necessities of the people. And trust me, this will help you and this will guide you for a proper way. And I hope that I have given you and shared 5 tips with you all, ladies and gentlemen. And these 5 tips are going to give you a lot of wings to fly and be a great and impactful public speaker and orator. Thank you very much.